Welcome to Conquer, the competition series by IFT. In this episode, we have Airtel iCreate finalist Ashmi Khandelwal and Shubham J. So, hi everyone, how are you guys doing?
Hi. Doing absolutely well.
Hi everybody. Yeah, we are great, we have been into classes and done things like studies and everything of that sort, along with some hobbies and everything. So yeah, it's good day that have been till now.
So let us start with this. And can you tell us about the competition and how was it structured?
Sure. So the case that was given to us was a 3-page long case. Talking about the type of case, it was more of product development, also delving into marketing, finance, and operations domain of business. Uh, Talking about the timelines, so it was a 3-stage case. So for the first one, we were given case around 10 to 15 days back, and for the subsequent rounds, we had around 7 to 10 days at our hands. Yeah.
Well, adding on to that, I would like to say that it was a 2 month journey, where first we had the preliminary round, where we just need to give the basic introduction of a basic idea. And after that, the results were announced, and we need to give the 10 slider PPT, completely explaining from the scratch of our business idea to the overall completion of the business idea, along with the financials of that. Like what are the profit, what are the net revenue of the company that it would be achieved. And finally, the finals was there. It was again a full day event. So yeah, there were 3 rounds and around 15,000 participants from all the national B schools of India.
Great to know about that. So, tell me about the jury. So, what were they looking for in your answer, and how the grading works, kind of?
Yeah. So what I could observe, what jury was thinking was basically their focus was on the financial part more, since and the uniqueness of the idea. So the basic ideas, the very conventional ideas were not given that priority, but the unconventional ideas were given more priority. That is, I think, natural. Financials was very important, which idea is getting the company earn more profit and more revenue in the shortest time with the least expenditure was also one thing that I could feel.
Adding on to that, I think the jury itself was very diverse. So we had HR or talent acquisition people to product development head at IFT. For example, there was product development head of Wink and regional managers as well. So it says a lot that they were judging on many aspects. So I think one need to be very cognizant of the words they are speaking and everything that has been written in the PPT. Financials were, of course, something that they were judging every team on. So, for example, if you are coming with that particular amount of money, so what are the premises behind that, and how confident are you for that? For example, again, as Shubham quoted about that net profit, how confident are you that given that Airtel will be able to achieve that? So financials were something, and premises, basically the premises that you have hold while developing the plan, while developing the business plan was something that they were really keen to know about.
Okay, great to know that you were very confident about your financials. But being a student of first year, how are you so sure? What the research went into that behind being so sure? So how did you go about it?
Sure, I can take up that. Regarding the finances, the case itself had certain benchmarks. So, for example, we knew that we had to make sure that the company gains that particular amount of money. So, that in itself was, sometimes it becomes the beginning point, or sometimes it becomes the end point, to each its own. Um, then it depends on actually the business plan that you're proposing. So we divided both our expenses and revenue in certain heads, and then we just went along that way, that how much expenditure it will take. Also depends on the level of business plans that you're proposing. So for example, marketing was something that we were really high on. So a lot of amount went on that. So yeah, we have to figure out that what are the major streams of revenue and what are the major heads of expenditures, and then we have to go that way. That was the idea behind our finances.
Okay.
Yes, I think Asmi covered it well. Uh, One thing I would like to like tell in one word that nobody can be that correct or wrong about their finances. So because it's an idea, you don't know in the reality what will be going to happen, if your idea is going to work or it's not going to work. But considering that it's going to work, how much profit do you expect that your idea is going to generate? That is the main crux of generating the finances.
Nice insight. So I want to know that what about the team formation? How you decide upon like who can come in your team, and does it matter to have a great team?
Uh, well, I would like to take this forward. That I think when students join the B school, so there's a general misconception of getting the best talent in the team. But I think that doesn't make sense, because ultimately, I think everyone in the batch is equally credible to achieve any competition, achieve any result. So the main thing of the team formation is the how bonded, how well you can communicate with the team members. So if it doesn't make sense if you have the, maybe say, Albert Einstein in your team, but you're not able to communicate well with him, so he's of no use, right? So ultimately there should be friendship, and the process is more important than the results. That is the main crux of the formation of team, right, Asmi?
Sure, of course. See, it was for us, it was around 2 months journey. So you have to gel well with your teammates. Also, having said that, there are certain competitions which are as long as of 4 months. So in that case, you need to be more comfortable with each other. But apart from soft skills, I think it is important to know each other's strengths and weaknesses as well. Certain things that one can keep in mind, at least in initial during initial times, when you don't know actually all your classmates, especially when you're in first year, which also happened with us. So for example, certain things like uh, PPT making or video making or Excel and such stuffs, so you can also keep in mind that about the skills that a person hold. And then if you think that you are strong enough in that, and you lack in something, if you can make team with someone who basically can compensate for your weakness, it will go a long way, I think.
Okay, great. So gelling well is the key takeaway, right? So coming to the problem statement, when do you guys start working on the problem? Like a conventional MBA student, do you start working days before, hours before, or you start well in advance?
I can take this up. See, when you have competition of this stature, you have to take it well in advance. Also, it was a very lengthy case. So if you want to give your full to it, which we as a team were sure that we really want to give it our best. We started the day as soon as we got the case, and subsequently for both the rounds, as soon as we got the results, we started on it. The time was also very less. So we knew we had to start the very same day. So yeah, for competitions like this, I think you should start pretty early on if you really want to give it your best shot.
Yeah, completely. I would completely agree with Asmi on this part that uh, it takes time to get a great idea, and it takes more time to execute that great idea, and it takes even more time to communicate the right execution and the idea to the right panelist. So I think that all things take time. If you start at the deadline, like just like we MBAs do in most of the cases, I think that doesn't work, and you miss something out in that process. So yes, timing is very important.
Okay, great. Talking about timing, how much time do you spend on research? How much do you spend on PPT making? Can you give a brief, division of time?
uh, well, we can say that equal time was given to all the three, because we divided research and the PPT making and the marketing and everything among ourselves, and everybody was working day in and out.
I think what really helped us was that initially we started the discussion on that basis only, so that these are the areas that we want to work in, and we divided the work on who can do it the best. of course, by communicating and whoever's cup of tea it was. So for example, research one took creativity or the execution of idea, other person took PPT making was again our expertise of some other person. So that's how we went along.
Can you tell us about the different sources that you use for your research and what are the websites that you usually refer to?
Sure. Few websites that we referred a lot were Statista, Euromonitor. Also, some companies do publish their yearly or semi-annually reports on, for example, what was important to us was digital advertising industry or how the SMB industry, which was basically very specific to our case, go about. So we actually gathered a lot of those kind of reports, so that eventually helps. So for example, EY's report or McKinsey report, Bain and Company's report, all these reports did really help us.
Very well said. So coming to the very last question, any tips, any secret mantra of winning competition? How you like any tips and trick you can share?
The tips and tricks, right? I think one tip and trick is the basic motivation that a person has, because you need to believe in that you will win, and you will win. If you don't have the belief, you won't win.
Few tips that I think really helped us. The first one would be, so when you are working on a case, what I felt for myself was that I was in a way digressing from the basic case it was. So as soon as we were progressing and formulating our case high on high, I thought it was very important to go back to the case once again. So just in case if you're missing on something, because it's been days now you're working on, and sometimes you just forget things. Secondly was, so for example, when we were giving the final pitch of for our grand finale, I think practicing it was really important. We did practice it a lot. The last 1 or 2 days we did practice, and it really helped us to boost our confidence, especially when something doesn't go as per what we were thinking in our heads. So yeah, I think practicing and keeping in touch with the basic case really helped us.
So thank you guys. Thank you for this session. A great insight. I think a lot of guys can get help from this. The time management and like working on a problem beforehand and practicing it can really help.